Prospecting mastery. Okay, so we're going to do a little exercise, but in a moment here. Prospecting is a marathon. It's not a sprint. Count doesn't matter. Consistency does matter. And you just mentioned something about that, Stephanie, in the chat. So whether you're doing 5 phone calls, 10 calls, reaching out to 5 people per day, or 10 per week, or 20 per week, or 100 per week, as long as you're doing it consistently, depending on whatever your availability and schedule looks like. Everyone has a different schedule, different availability. Some people are working part-time, full-time, etc. So, but being consistent with that based on time blocking and knowing what your schedule looks like on a week-to-week basis, even if you commit to 2 days or 3 days a week. I know some of you work alternating schedules week to week in your current jobs. So, time blocking is going to be your most effective tool. Using KW Command, using your database, leveraging your database, it's always going to help you stay organized. And then branding through repetition, whether that's social media, putting updates every week, content that's of value to people in your sphere or in the general public. Same with the phone calls. One call is never enough. So we're going to talk more about that in a second here. I'm going to kind of breeze through this a little bit since we're at 6 o'clock right now. So prospecting mastery, starting with your sphere, your friends, your family, coworkers, former coworkers, colleagues, whoever. Maybe not so much colleagues who are realtors, but non-realtors. Calling everyone as a brand new agent, calling everyone that you know personally, and confidently letting them know that you are a real estate professional with one of the top real estate teams in the entire country. And here's a kind of a recommended script, which we don't have to go into too much detail now. Hold on, let me move this out of the way. Hi, Jill. Hi, Joe. How are you? Just want to let you know I'm a real estate professional with Keller Williams. We're one of the top 25 teams out of all real estate brokerages in the entire country. Sorry for the typo. Asked me, top 25 team, asked me to work with them. We are a top 10 team in all of Keller Williams. If I can ever be a resource to you and anyone you know, again, sorry for the typo, feel free to reach out to me. And so, if they say, yeah, that's great, that's awesome, then you can follow up with something like, great, I'd be happy to share some periodic market updates with you. I have a monthly e-newsletter I email to clients. You can do this through Command, obviously. Do you mind if I share these with you from time to time? And all you do is you set them up for a smart plan. Once a month, they get a neighborhood update, depending on where they live. And again, you're leveraging your database to engage these people that are within your sphere. You can also design monthly newsletter emails. George Kelly talks about that as well in his teachings. And I am going to mention, if we talked about this on January 24th, Tim, you had provided great insight into this. And the January 24th team huddle, there is a recording that's on the training materials Google Drive. If you fast forward to the 15-minute mark of that recording, listen to what Tim had shared as far as suggestive responses, using the power of the team, my marketing team, my media department, etc. A lot of really good tidbits there. Jewel and some of the newer agents as well. A lot of great insights into that for those who were not able to attend that particular meeting. Something in the chat here. Stephanie, you just mentioned you just sent out your bi-monthly newsletter out. That's awesome. Got a couple leads. Very nice. Beautiful.
I use chat a lot, in case you haven't noticed.
Okay. Yeah, it's weird when I'm sharing my screen, it pops up. But anyway, yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. Hold on. Let's see. Okay, so getting to the training exercise here. I sent a few of you index cards by mail. If you don't have index cards, that's okay. But get a notepad, a loose leaf piece of paper. I'll give you a moment to grab that. And if you have a pen or a permanent marker, you can't see mine for some reason, grab that as well, because we're going to do a little exercise. We're going to write out on these little pieces of paper or index cards. Okay, so does anyone need a moment? We can wait. No, we're good. Awesome. So card number one on the blank side, if you have an index card, on the one side, just write the following words. This is my why. Sorry, hold on. Let me just tweak this. Hold on. Stop share. I'm going to change my virtual background. Sorry. There we go. So this is my why on the front side. All right. Card number two, or piece of paper number two. Hold on. We're experiencing technical difficulties here. Give me 1 second for current slide. There we go. Card number two, 1 out of 10. Number one out of number 10. Just like this, if you can see it, 1 out of 10. That's card number two. All right, is there anything? There's nothing in the chat. Okay. Just if you guys have questions, just say it audibly if you can, because I can't really see the chat while I'm sharing my screen. If you can. Card number three, 6 points of contact. Card number three, 6 points of contact. 6 points of contact. We're going to break down each of these in a moment. All right. Any questions, comments? Do we need to pause for anything? No, we're good. All right. This is my why. Card number one. Making money is not your why. We all here to make money. I get it. I'm here to make money. You're here to make money. But money buys you the freedom to choose the activities that make you happy. So money itself is not a why. Money is, I'll give you an example of what my why is. My why is why we do what we do, why we make those sales calls, why we engage people multiple times is because we want to have, let's say, a better life for our family, or a better life for yourself, or you want to vacation more, travel more, see the world. Whatever your why is, I'm going to give you a couple days to write out on the back of this what your why is. And if you want to share it with me, you are more than welcome to do so. My why is a vision of a painting, of, let's say it's a Norman Rockwell painting where the person's at the top of the head of the table cutting the turkey, right? I want to have my own home where I invite, I host Thanksgiving dinner with my extended family. So that's kind of my why. It's very specific, but everyone's why is different. So finding your motivation through your why, and I'll explain in a moment why the why is so important. Okay, moving on. Card number two, 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10 prospects or people you engage with will work with you. So for example, if you contact 20 people, you'll get 2 appointments. Now, is that going to be consecutively, meaning that every 20 people you'll get 2 appointments? May or may not be the case. You might get 4 appointments in your first 10 people you engage with and nothing in the next 10, let's just say, or next 30, whatever the case might be. But over time, the math will work itself out. As long as you're doing what you have to do to engage people confidently and with a certain level of energy that fits kind of your nature, the numbers are going to work itself out. Again, it may not be consecutive, but over time, after a few months, you'll begin to see more and more appointments getting scheduled and more engagement with clients. This requires follow-up, which brings me to my next point. Hold on. Let's take a pause for a second. Let's do a little breathing exercise. Let's catch our breath. I know I threw a lot at you there because the next one's a real doozy, let me tell you. So take a breath. Card number 3, 6 points of contact. All right, get ready for it. Buckle your seatbelts. Okay, let me move this out of the way. 6 points of contact. You contact each person 6 times. Doesn't have to be the same. Don't do it the same day because then it gets scary. Uh, Over a 1 to 2 week period, some agents are a lot more aggressive than that, and they'll call 3 times, send 3 text messages and 3 emails, 3 in 3 days. That's not my nature. I don't recommend that. But at the very least, you want to engage people multiple times because they might need to be nudged a little bit to take action. But especially someone that it's through a third party internet lead that you procured, uh, and those are not cheap, obviously. Or if there's someone that's a for sale by owner, FSBO, or an expired listing, you're going to want to engage people multiple times because they're not going to respond after the first time. There is a maybe 10% chance, if not less, that they will respond to you after one try of following up with them, of contacting them. So by the 6th point of contact, even if it's over a 2-week period, you're going to increase your success rate by 90%. And this is a proven sales strategy. So what is it each point of contact? And voicemail, text message, email. Each of those are examples of 1 point of contact each. You want to be a follow-up machine. That is the key to success in real estate. So follow up goes back to the point earlier about engaging. So again, 6 points of contact, increase your success rate. Because I know what you're thinking, and some people might be watching this and saying, whoa, that seems like a lot. Proven sales strategy. Do you want to do 5 transactions a year, or do you want to do 20 or 30 or more? People that do a lot of transactions per year who are financially secure and doing well for themselves on a year-to-year basis in this business are following up consistently. Let's take another pause because that was a big one. That was a lot that I just threw at you. Any questions, comments, feedback thus far? Anything I'm missing, Tim or Stephanie, anything that in your expertise that I'm not mentioning here thus far?
I think, I think you're dead on. I mean, if you're going to make sales, you've got to make calls of some type, whether you're cold calling and you're, for sale by owners, whether you're doing open houses, whether you're door knocking. And it's something we'll get into. The next training I'm doing is going to go back towards lead generation. And, I've seen different types of numbers over the years, but, I've always heard you've got to contact people 11 times to 12 times a year in your sphere to keep in touch with them. I've had other people say 6. I've had different numbers. I think, the bottom line to it is touch base with your main clients, your past clients, and your sphere of influence every year. Do it in a mixed way. Don't do it all by phone call. Don't do it all by email. Spread it out. I love the fact Stephanie's doing a newsletter. I always did newsletters, but the 20 calls to get appointments. Obviously 20 people that have some interest is required. It can't be 20 people that just closed on a house.
Right.
So the quality of your list, the quality of who you're calling matters. But at the end of the day, if you don't make the calls, don't look around wondering why you're not hitting the sales that you want to hit. For sure.
Yeah, and I would love to just add, again, the consistency, guys. That really is one of the most critical pieces. Whatever schedule you decide works for you through your time blocking, and at least for my Pittsburgh team, I have been preaching time blocking from day one, and I will continue to preach it. Just make sure that you don't let something interrupt that time frame for your lead generating. If something should happen that's unavoidable, that you have to do that doesn't mean you don't do it that day. That means you find someplace else in the day to do it. So for example, I lead generate 5 days a week right now, 9:30 to 11:30 every single day. 15 contacts must be made. And if I don't get that done in 2 hours, guess what? 2 hours later in the day, I'm going to continue to lead generate until I hit my 15. But the thing is, the consistency is really what is key there. Because remember, it takes 30 days to 21 to 30 days to create a habit. So, like, I'm willing to say to every single one of you, let's take a 30-day challenge. Like, let's start March 1st and let's be accountable to each other that every single day we're doing what we say we're going to do, right? That's our integrity. We're going to stand in our integrity. So, the consistency really is key, and that consistency is what gets you to success. The other thing is, Tim, and you had just kind of mentioned this, making sure that you are mixing up how you're touching, because points can also be considered touches. Guys, segment who your clients or who your contacts are. Segment in your database. You know, if it's somebody who's looking to purchase like right now within the next 90 days, boom, they're going to be an A. You're going to be feeding them really, really frequently, probably once a week. Somebody who's going to be in that 90-day to 6-month range, okay, maybe you're going to reach out to them once a month or every 2 to 3 weeks. Somebody who's a year or more out from buying or selling, you still want to stay front of mind, but you're not going to necessarily be contacting them once a month. You want to make sure that you're at least getting 6 touches a year in for them. So again, when the time comes up, first of all, you know that the time is coming up because you've been in, communication with them. But even if for some reason they have a rapid change and they're like, hey, I want to do this right now, you're going to be the person they call because you're front of mind for them. So consistency and then knowing who your audience is for what time frame really is going to be the 2 biggest helpful things in order for you to figure out how many touches you need for who you need, how often you need to do them.
It's great. Yeah, Stephanie, thank you. Tim,
And
Stephanie, thanks.
yeah,
Go ahead.
one more thing there, as you're prospecting is not just new people. Prospecting is also the people that you've sold to before, that you've done business with, and make sure that you're talking to everyone. We've got one in Philadelphia. Tanya just put a house in contract. It was actually for an old friend of mine from junior high school, who I really had not seen since, that I'd reconnected with and took him out to dinner and we hooked up. He's a drummer, makes no money, never would have thought he would have been able to buy a house, but he inherited, and Tanya put him in contract the other day. So, there's an example. I'd reached out to someone who really did not expect to be of any benefit, business wise. And now we've got a sale in contract. So,
Awesome.
make sure you're talking to everybody, from your dry cleaner to the waiters and waitresses that take care of your restaurants, your favorite bartender, your dental hygienist, dentist. Talk to everybody as you're doing this.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, and guys, I'm going to say one of the absolute easiest scripts. I do like what you provided here, Vic. But I'll tell you the absolute easiest script that you can have is, I'm not assuming that you are in the market right now to buy or sell real estate, but who do you know who might be?
Exactly.
Not do you know anybody? Who do you know? By
Who do you know?
by wording it that way, you're automatically assuming that they do have people. You're assuming that they have connections. And the more that you ask that question, start with your friends and family. You know what I mean? Your friends and family are most apt to want to help you because they're excited for you. They're proud of you that you're moving in, you're embarking on this career that you've wanted so much. So, I always just say, to take the pressure off, I am not assuming that you are in the market to blank. But who do you know? Like, really, that starts you into the who, what, when, where, why, hows. And that's really going to keep that open. And that's okay for you to ask them that exact same question 4 times a year, once a quarter. Because, sometimes they can say, you know what, there really isn't anybody that I can think of. The next time that you ask them, you can say, well, who's your doctor? Call his doctor. If your friends give you their doctor's name, call the doctor. Worst that they're going to say is, I don't have anybody. So,
Yeah.
who do you know?
So here's kind of, and Stephanie, you touched on this a moment ago here as well. Here's what I would suggest, but I mean, there's different ways of going about doing this. But for example, if I'm reaching out to a lead through a for sale by owner or expired listing or internet feed or a Facebook lead, first 3 contact attempts, I'll reach out, call, I'll leave a voicemail. If there's no answer, I'll send a text message and I'll send an email. There's my first 3 points of contact right there. But to Tim's point, and Stephanie's point, Absolutely. It's going to be other points of contact, not just for these people that are brand new, but also for other people that you reached out to in the past, other people, past clients, whether, and that's probably going to be more on a quarterly or monthly basis, as Stephanie had indicated. But this is just someone that's brand new. Here's 3 points of contact in the first day. Fourth contact attempt, fast. Let's say it's a Tuesday, is the first time you reach out to them. Maybe call again on a Thursday, and then the following Tuesday. So that segue breaks it out over a 7-day period, or whether you want to do in the same week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'll leave that choice up to you, based on your nature, your personality, obviously. But again, the fourth point of contact, the fourth contact attempt will be a call. You don't leave a message. You send a text message after you try to call. So then you have 2 left after that to get to your 6. And here's for the 5th and 6th attempts. You can call, leave a voicemail, send a final email. Hi, Joe. Wanted to reach out to you one last time regarding your home search or regarding your home at 123 Main Street. That way they know that you're not going to keep hounding them necessarily. But what I would do is if you have not had a chance to reach out to someone and they have not connected with you, there's nothing wrong with setting up a monthly neighborhood email or newsletter through a smart plan in Command. Again, George Kelly will teach you how to do that. I can show you as well. I'm not a tech expert, but I can still show you. And maybe begin that 2 weeks or 3 weeks in the future, so that they don't feel like you're burdening this person, bombarding them with emails. But you can do it as a monthly, bi-weekly, whatever the case might be, depending on how well you might know the person, or if you've engaged with them in the past. So that's just an example of something you can do. Don't feel like you're bothering someone, because they can always unsubscribe. They can always unsubscribe. It's you're not burdening someone. They have that choice of how they want to handle those emails going forward. But at least it's a way to automate that process. Let that individual keep you front of mind when they do decide to take action, as Stephanie and Tim had indicated a few moments ago. So just want to recap here, but any questions, comments that have not been shared before or earlier on in the call? Okay.
Vic, I want to thank you for the index card idea.
Sure.
I think that that's great, and I do think that putting it on an index card is important. If you
Yeah.
guys want to even do it on a business card, something that you can keep handy with you, especially the why, right? Because if nothing, when as you just said right there in the mastery, when in doubt, turn to your why.
Exactly.
And again, your why is specific, and a lot of times your why is something that emotionally moves you. So, but I love the card idea, Vic. That was great.
I'm sorry I didn't mention that to you sooner, Stephanie.
Nope, that's
In
okay.
preparation for this call.
That's okay.
But yeah, because you're going to have moments where once in a while someone's going to say, "Why are you calling me? I don't know who you are. Why you called me already a couple days ago." Blah blah blah. Go back to your why, to say, "This is why I'm doing this, to have a better life for my family or whoever. I don't want to rob myself or my family of a better life because one person out of 20 decides to cop attitude with me, or give me a hard time." And again, the biggest fear here is fear of rejection. What are they going to do? Say no? Okay. Well, again, that's the business of real estate. And so going back to this and having this next to you when you're prospecting, having this on your desk or on a fridge, somewhere nearby, is going to be critically important to helping you not get discouraged, because you go for no, get to yes. That's the name of the game here. And when you're doing 20 deals, 24 deals a year, and making good money, and you're going to come back to this and say, you know what? It's a good thing that I continue to stay motivated and forge ahead and make that next call. So again, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Count doesn't matter. Consistency does matter. We're running a business. We're not here to make friends necessarily, although you can easily make friends with clients that have good experiences working with you, or do have good experiences working with you in the future. Uh, as I said, when in doubt, turn to your why. So
Vic, can I just add one more thing to
yeah,
what you just
please.
said?
Sure.
Where you had said basically, right, the worst thing that we're going to hear is a no. Guys, this is a tech tip or a trick that I've used for the last 20 years in sales, any prospecting. Remember whenever, or tell yourself whenever you call them, when they answer the phone, they're already at yes. They are already at yes. The longer that you speak with them, if you're not clear and you're not concise, you're going to get them to a no faster. You're already at yes when they answer the phone. So if you are very clear about why you're calling, and yes, sharing your why is a huge thing because, again, it's usually an emotional impact and everybody is going to be moved by emotions. So that a lot of times is going to get you to either more of a yes, or it's going to get you to, hey, yeah, I really don't need your services right now, but I think my sister's best friend was looking. What's your information? I'll share it. So it's just kind of one of those things that smile and dial sounds dumb, but it really works. Smile before you pick
Yep.
up the phone, right? That comes through in your voice. And then also, whenever they answer the phone, you've already started at yes. So when you have that positive attitude and you have that smile on your face, that comes across in your tone and your inflection during your phone calls. So just a little tidbit to when you said the no, I'm like, well, yeah, but we started yes.
Hmm. Yeah, you started. Yes, that's great feedback. Thank you. All right, open discussion. Any questions, comments from anyone else that's on the call?
It's interesting because someone on this call, and I don't know who it is, but someone on this call that's fairly new to real estate just is sitting there thinking, hold it, I got to make calls. I've got a prospect. There's two groups, well, there's three groups of realtors, but the two big ones are the group that sell only to their friends and family and make 25,000 bucks a year, and the ones that are successful. The difference between that is going out and talking to strangers, meeting people you don't know. And, I think a lot of people get into this business thinking, oh, my friends and family will buy from me and I'll make plenty of money and I won't need anyone else. I doubt any of us on this call know enough people for that to be the truth.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean for the person who's sitting there going, oh my God, I can't pick up a telephone and call a stranger. I could never do that. That doesn't mean you have to do that, but you have to be able to talk to strangers. So when Vic talks about, or Stephanie talks about making a call, you can fill into that talking to someone at an open house. You can fill into that going to a networking event and talking to a stranger. There's a lot of different ways to do it. So don't take this as, oh my God, I can't telemarket. I don't know how to do that. I could never do that. The point here is for you to be successful, you're going to have to get outside of your comfort level a little bit and talk to someone that you don't know today.
Yep.
I think so, as we go forwards, we're going to be doing a lot of training and things on actual selling real estate because it is a sales job. It's not like selling cars. It's not like selling home improvements. It's not a hard sale, but the bottom line is there's still sales here. The key thing is to understand what you're selling, and both Vic and Stephanie touched on it. You're not selling houses. There's nothing you can say to get someone to buy a house they don't like. You're selling yourself. What we sell as realtors is getting people to trust us and let us help them solve their problem, whether it's selling a home, buying a home, both. So just kind of take that away as we go into, future meetings and trainings. And I'm working as we speak on the next, we're going to do a 2-hour training next week for Columbus offices, Philly and Pittsburgh. That's going to be very sales oriented. But it's going to be real estate sales oriented again, which is selling ourselves. We're not selling an actual product or service. We're really selling people ourselves. And if you get a chance, Christy Pater put up on the Easy Referral Network Facebook page this afternoon a little short class I did on trust. Watch that. It'll really drive home what I'm talking about when we talk about selling ourselves and getting people to use us. It's a little class on how to establish and build trust with people.
And just